103.3 FM, Ogungbade Ibadan. Perfect choice station for the I-FLIERs.
Sports Drive, your breakfast sports show on radio. Sports Drive, your breakfast sports show on radio.
Lewandowski and Royce, Santana, they've smuggled it in. Extraordinary. Dortmund, 2 goals in stoppage time. It's over. The Bucks have done it. The long wait has ended after a half-century. The Milwaukee Bucks are NBA champions once again.
Has scored 9 goals since joining from Juventude, and captain is back, having had his season wrecked by an Achilles problem. Artur Sales just over an hour behind schedule, but here we go, following on from the weather delay. Ulsan HD against Mamelodi Sundowns here in Orlando. Over the line. It goes down as their first attempt on target. There was Reyners.
Review. Number 13, Mamelodi, scored the goal with contact with the hand. Final decisions, direct free kick.
So there we have it, no goal after all. Handball is the verdict against Reyners. Back there was by Zwane for Sales, and this is neat and tidy, and it is a sparkling goal. Just what they were looking for. And Reyners in again, and they're running away with this. Mamelodi Sundowns. Ikram Reyners at the double. But offside, that is apparently not going to count. That's the decision on the pitch anyway. Well, hang on, let's just confirm it for you. So exactly what was... It's as though Mokoena might fancy it. Mokoena this time, and pushed away by Joe. Mokoena does know how to take a deadly free kick. All of a sudden a gap emerges. Cole was the player who fed that one across, and having to strain every sinew to that Sundowns. So very much a mixed bag from him. And now there is a gap in the defence. Williams with the save though. And Eric was trying to follow up. There it is. Victory for Mamelodi Sundowns in their opening game to beat Busan HD. They gave it everything they could.
Yes, history was made yesterday in America as Mamelodi Sundowns of South Africa became the first African to start with a 1-0 victory over South Korean side Busan HD, just like in that one. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it was also Mamelodi Sundowns' first victory in any version of the Club World Cup after they lost. Ladies and gentlemen, it is on that note I welcome you to Sports Drive on I-FLIER 103.3 FM this lovely Wednesday morning. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the perfect choice station for you out there who are the I-FLIERs. Of course, this is the time dedicated to giving you all of the updates from the happenings around the world to discuss the world of transfers on the show this morning. What are the back pages saying as far as the world of transfers is concerned? Also on the show this morning, we get to talk about the Super Eagles of Nigeria, not forgetting 9-time African champions, Super Falcons of Nigeria, who are preparing for the WAFCON tournament that is starting next month in Morocco. These are many more we get to enjoy on the show this morning on Sports Drive on I-FLIER 103.3 FM. Don't get it twisted, this is the voice of Pelumi Adeosun, the sports umpire, getting ready to take you across the length and breadth of events making the rounds in the sporting empire. Well, let me also take this moment to inform you that you can get to watch us live on Facebook on I-FLIER 103.3 FM live. I-FLIER 103.3 FM live. Without wasting much of our time, let's get the show on the road. Well, starting from the home front this morning, starting from our own league, starting from Akwa Ibom State, where Akwa Ibom Commissioner for Sport, Elder Paul Basti, has announced the four clubs following the conclusion of the 2024-2025 Nigerian Football League season. Well, the four clubs owned and funded by the Akwa State government. So we've got Akwa United Football Club, Dakada Football Club, Ibom Angels, yes, that is the female football club, and of course Ibom Youth Football Club. The Commissioner for Sports in the state, Elder Basi, announced the dissolution of the management teams during a meeting with the representatives of the four clubs in Uyo and directed the chairman and secretaries of the four clubs to submit their handover notes to the ministry in 2 weeks. Well, you may want to call this one drastic, you may want to call it extreme, but then it is something that it is important and it needs to be done considering the performance of some of these clubs in the just concluded season. Akwa United got relegated from the NPFL season. Also, Dakada escaped relegation by whiskers. As a matter of fact, they were just one place away from relegation in that one. Ibom Angels also did not do too well in the NWFL. So it must be said, it must be done. This is a step in the right direction when you consider the grand scheme of things from the outgoing officials for their contribution and services to the state, and I wish them well in their future endeavors. He also informed that a new management set up for all the four teams will be constituted soonest to begin preparations for the upcoming football season. That is the update coming from the camp of Akwa Ibom right there. Well, moving away from that one, ladies and gentlemen, let's go straight to the camp of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. For the very first time after the Unity Cup competition and after the game, the friendly game against Russia, the NFF president Alhaji Ibrahim Musa Goso spoke to newsmen following the completion of those games. And of course, he made it clear that the Super Eagles of Nigeria have achieved their objectives with those games. Well, he asserted that the Federation is delighted to have achieved these objectives for making the Super Eagles prosecute the Four-Nation Unity Cup tournament in London, and of course the friendly match with the Russia senior national team in Moscow, all within the past 12 days. according to Ibrahim Musa Gozo, he said, and I quote, I can tell you categorically that we have achieved our sporting objectives, which were the most important in this case. The principal goal was to provide windows for the coach and his crew to take a look at new players that might be positive additions to the team going forward. He further said, apart from the regulars that we already know what they are capable of, the tournament in London afforded us the opportunity to see the likes of Benjamin Frederick, Felix Agu, Uche Crisantos, and of course Igor Ogbo. We also saw more of Syria Desas. We saw the home-based professionals, Papa Daniel Mustafa, Ifayu Oyebuchi, Collins Oguize, and of course Sadiq Ismail, not forgetting Sikiru Alimi. Also in Russia, we saw more of Uche, and we saw Tolu Arokodore scoring a poacher's goal, his first goal for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. So according to the NFL president, he says that the aim, the objectives of those games was properly achieved by the Super Eagles and by the NFF. Well, moving away from that one, but still talking about the Glass House, talking about update. Hope that this is not a case of them trying to smuggle in and of course remove some players like it used to be before. Well, as part of their preparations, the Super Falcons will travel to Portugal, where they will train and play a friendly match against the Portuguese women national team on Monday. That is less than a month before the tournament begins. Meanwhile, the NFF has rolled out a robust media campaign that is tagged Mission X to rally support for the Super Falcons from fans across Nigeria and the diaspora. Well, with 9 WAFCON titles from 12 tournaments since the competition began in 1998, the Super Falcons are undoubtedly Africa's most decorated women's national team. And according to the NFF General Secretary, says they are committed to fully supporting the Super Falcons campaign for a 10th continental title, and that is why they have launched the Mission X campaign, saying Mission X is possible. X means 10, yes, meaning that the Super Falcons can get their 10th WAFCON title. The Super Falcons made history as Africa's sole representative at the inaugural FIFA Women's World Club World Cup in 1991 and 1995. Although the last edition of the WAFCON in 2022, yes, it wasn't too good for the Super Falcons of Nigeria as they missed out on the podium for the very first time. Yes, they finished fourth in that particular one, but right about now they are saying Mission X is possible. Mission X is achievable. What do you think the team can do that one? What do you think the team can do that one? For not forgetting the likes of the Bayana of South Africa in one corner, and of course the host nation, talking about the Atlas Lionesses of Morocco. Not forgetting the Copper Queens of Zambia. These are girls that will definitely give the Super Falcons a run for their money. But then 9-time African champions, always proving to the world that they can do it. They can conquer Africa. Hopefully they will be able to do it once again next month in Morocco. Well, moving away from that one, ladies and gentlemen, national, as we anticipate the start of next season in the MPFL, let me inform you that the People's Elephants have the stadium talking about the Elephants Park is undergoing major renovations ahead of the MPFL season. Well, major renovations including new seats for improved fan experience, but also got roof upgrades and repainting, and finally power plants for uninterrupted electricity supply. Of course, these are many more upgrades going on at the People's Elephant Stadium right there. Talking about the Yimba Stadium in Aba. Alright, moving away from that one, guys, let's go straight to talk about some stories making the rounds on the foreign scene. Where Filippo Inzaghi yesterday was hired by Palermo after the former World Cup winner left Pisa following their historic promotion to the Serie A. In a statement that Palermo released, saying that Inzaghi had signed a multi-year contract starting from next month. According to Italian media reports, Palermo paid Pisa nearly €1 million to take Inzaghi as the Sicilians, owned by the City Football Group, which also owns Manchester City, are attempting their own return to the Serie A. Well, Pisa under Inzaghi finished second in Serie B under if cancelled in that particular game. But then the only goal was enough for the South African side to claim all 3 maximum points, and of course for them to top Group F, because Fluminense and Borussia Dortmund played out a goalless draw earlier from the game in that group. also we saw River Plate demolish Urawa Red Diamond American side. And of course, some games were also Saudi Arabia in what is said to be an interesting encounter right there. And of course, by 11 p.m., Pachuca of Mexico would play against RB Salzburg. Yes, those are the games are set to go down today in the FIFA Club World Cup. Meanwhile, tomorrow in the early hours of tomorrow morning, Al Ain will play against Juventus by 2 a.m. Yes, by 2 a.m. Nigerian time. Yes, those are the games that you are set to enjoy in the ongoing FIFA Club World Cup. We're still speaking on the FIFA Club World Cup, ladies and gentlemen. Let me after I missed training yesterday due to illness. Well, according to the club sources, they said to keep the 39-year-old at the Old Trafford for at least 1 more year. Still in the world of transfers, ladies and gentlemen, let me inform you that AC Milan have met with representatives of Bayer Leverkusen and Switzerland midfielder Granit Xhaka. Although Leverkusen have maintained that Granit Xhaka is not for sale and it would remain with their club going forward. Finally, from the world of transfers, let me inform you that Napoli are attempting to sign Manchester United and England winger Jadon Sancho after his unsuccessful loan spell at Chelsea right there. Okay, we've got to go on the show this morning, but then before we go, let me inform you that the 2025-2026 Premier League fixtures would be released this morning. It is less than a month since Liverpool lifted the trophy on the last day of the 2024-2025 campaign. And of course, the release of the fixtures definitely marks the beginning of the countdown to a new season. So for these clubs, they would find out who their next opponents are going to be for next season. Well, for managers that know their onions, this is when they start plotting the move. This is when they start calculating the number of points that you can win in a particular month. Right there, the fixtures would officially be released immediately I step out of the studio, 9 a.m. to be precise. The fixtures for 2025-2026 EPL season will be released. But then, as a sport analyst, you know we have a way around these things. Let me give you a bit of expo in that one. Manchester United would face Arsenal on the opening day of the English Premier League season. Yes, at the Old Trafford, it's going to be Manchester United against Arsenal. Well, that's going to be a battle between Slim Gold and UZD. Yes, two friends would become temporary enemies on the opening day of the English Premier League. Well, we'll see how that one would pan out. Well, for Manchester United, they will face Arsenal, Man City, and Chelsea within the first 5 game weeks of the 2025-2026 season. Well, it may be a make or mark period for Ruben Amorim and Manchester United. They will face Arsenal, Manchester City, and Chelsea within the first 5 game weeks right there. While for Arsenal, their first 5 games, they will play against Manchester United away, they will play against Leeds United at home, they will play against Liverpool away, they will play against Nottingham Forest at home, and Manchester City at home as well. While for Chelsea, their first 5 games, they will play against Crystal Palace in the London Derby at home, they will play against West Ham away, Fulham at home, Brentford away, and Manchester United away. But then the biggest one definitely has to be the one between Manchester United and Arsenal on the opening weekend of the English Premier League. Like I said, two friends are said to become temporary enemies that day. Slim Gold versus UCD. Well, Wisdom is expected to be the referee for that one. It's expected to be the neutral figure. Ladies and gentlemen, that is where we'll be drawing the curtain on today's edition of Sports Drive on I-FLIER 103.3 FM. Thank you very much for being a part of the show. To everyone who has been a part of the show, big appreciations to Pat View. Thank you, Sunday, for also pressing the right buttons. We'll be back again by 3:05 p.m. My name is Pelumi Adeosun. Do have a great rest of the day. Up next is Akpelu Shelu with ADEJARE AMUDA.
Discover a new horizon. Reach for the sky. Soar to new height with I-FLIER 103.3 FM. The perfect choice station for the high flyers.
Ó ń sẹ́ mingimingi, ó ń dún kẹ̀rìírí àwọn ètò lọ́lọ́kùn òjọ̀kan lórí àṣà, èdè, ẹ̀fẹ̀, ìlera, ètò ẹ̀kọ́ àti ohun amúlùúdùn nílẹ̀ yìí àti lókè òkun. Máa gbọ́ ìkànnì aláṣẹ.
Ó ń mì jìjìjìjìjì létí wa, ìkànnì tó ń gbọ́, ìkànnì tó ń dùn. 103.3 rédíò aláṣẹlá. Má yín kò ń bẹ̀, tiwantiwa aláṣẹlá.
Put us under, but if we no go scatter am, we must balance am well. Everybody must happy. Some no go dey benefit, make others dey hungry. Abba. One day hungry man go angry. Leadership, government, president, no be personal property. Power no be birthright. Equal rights and justice now go bring unity and progress. Solution to make Nigeria better, it dey here for Naija. If we find a better leader, Nigeria go better. Correct brain with correct solution, it go good for Naija. Abba, she be na chopo na into sense. Oyinbo way organize, she get to head. Naija don sweet before, it must sweet again. Country hardy. My back in my low, I check out. Baba re do oyinbo, come on, walo. Hey, I dey go, ilu oyinbo. Yeah, I never taste it was on the house. No, which one was sweet in passy. Because of pounds and dollars. Face Yankee, my visa expire, still no padu. Tutu pa shege, ọlọ́pàá ọdẹ gbọ́dọ̀ gan mi. Èmi ọmọ nílé ọlọ́nà tó wá di gbà tó ẹ̀ yọ. If I greet oyinbo for road, he go point in nose for sky. Èmi ọmọ àfùjápọ̀ ọmọ nílé ọlọ́nà big man for my area. Olúkè mi mọ̀ ẹni kò mọ ẹni mọ̀ kò yá mi ò gbọ́dọ̀ bóyá tó ń jẹ mí aya ń bẹ nílé ọmọ ń sọ fà. Kéṣe mo rántí ilé mo forin arúgbọ́nú.